Good evening, I'm Justin Case. A significant ruling today is making many former Eric C. Con clients feel a sense of optimism. Remember, last November, judges with the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the Social Security Administration's redetermination hearings were unconstitutional. Today, that ruling was upheld. I talked with former Con clients and their attorney about what this means moving forward. It's been a nearly 4-year battle. Former Eric C. Con clients have been forced into redetermination hearings to get their benefits back. Unfortunately, things like suicide, homelessness, and financial hardships have fallen on many of them.
We have, I think, a bright light at the end of the tunnel that finally they'll get their benefits back, and that these horrific hearings they went through, which the 6th Circuit ruled were unconstitutional, they will become a memory of the past.
Robert Martin is a former Con client. Even with physical disabilities and cancer, he fought to make it to hearings across the state, only to have his benefits taken away. He didn't think he'd live to see this day.
I ain't got no money, but I've had to get money to do all this running around. You know, it's been a nightmare. This May will be 4 years this has been going on.
Because the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against looking at their November ruling once more, the ruling that the redetermination hearings are unconstitutional will stand.
There's actually good hope. You know, they won this hearing in the 6th Circuit, and that means more than likely these people will get their benefits back.
Ned Pillersdorf says other judges who are ruling over cases involving former Eric C. Con clients are looking at this case closely. He says this ruling likely helps the 800 others who also had their benefits taken away.
He was not going to do anything in the case till he saw how the Hicks case was finally resolved. So that's a very good indication that today's ruling not only affects the 13 who won, but will logically affect the 800 who lost their benefits.
Having to fight because of the greed of one man. The Social Security Administration now has 90 days to appeal the ruling to the U.S. Supreme Court. If they are successful or if they are unsuccessful, or if the Supreme Court does not take the case, the 6th Circuit's ruling will be final. The Clay County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help finding a thief. Take a look at these pictures. Deputies say this truck pulled up to a storage unit on Highway 638. The driver allegedly broke into the unit and made off with a 2014 Harley Davidson. You can see plastic draped over the paneling of the vehicle to conceal its color. There also appears to be a cardboard cutout placed over the license plate. Anyone with information on the theft is asked to call the Clay County Sheriff's Office at 606-598-3471. The potential strike involving ARH employees is no more. Representatives from the United Steelworkers Union say the tentative agreement they reached Wednesday has officially been ratified. About 65% of the nearly 2,200 ARH union employees voted in favor of the deal. The contract will last 3 years and will take effect April 1st. U-Pike and Big Sandy Community and Technical College teamed up to host the 3rd annual Leading Ladies Conference. This year's theme was Striving to Serve. Women of all ages and professional backgrounds attended the conference. Several different workshops were held throughout the day, inspiring women to be servant leaders.
It is the 3rd year holding this conference, and we have collaborated with our partnering institution. Very excited to inspire women and leaders within our community.
Women don't always have the opportunity to see what options are available to them, and also to learn more about themselves, as well as learn tips and techniques that can help them move forward in their careers if they choose to.
Dr. Zilka and Dr. Worth say this event was another success for them. On Monday, Harlan County turns 200 years old. Today, folks gathered outside the courthouse to kick off what will be a year-long celebration. Officials say Harlan County formed 200 years ago, but needed a little push to get the government working. Locals say a lot of grit went into making the county what it is today, and they plan to keep working to make it better for the future.
We need to make sure that we do all we can every day to make sure that there is a Harlan County 100 years from now.
County officials say they plan on having events throughout the year to celebrate the 200th anniversary. A new logo, which you could see in the video, was also unveiled today. In Venezuela tonight, the power completely went out in Caracas. Venezuela suffered its worst blackouts earlier this month, and then another round of power outages that paralyzed commerce this past week. The country's communications minister said Thursday that electricity had been restored in most of the country, though some areas remained without power, and experts have warned that the system is vulnerable to further disruptions. Attorney General William Barr announced Friday the nearly 400-page Mueller report on the Russia investigation will be made public in the next couple weeks. As President Trump does a victory lap over the report, he's vowing again to shut down the U.S. border with Mexico to stem the flow of undocumented immigrants. CBS News correspondent Mola Lenghi has more from Palm Beach, Florida, where the president is staying in his Mar-a-Lago estate.
With Democrats demanding the release of the Mueller report, Attorney General William Barr announced he plans to send a redacted version to Congress by mid-April or sooner.
If that's what he'd like to do, I have nothing to hide. This was a hoax. This was a witch hunt.
The president has not seen the report, and it will not be shared with the White House in advance. Barr sent a 4-page letter to Congress on Sunday that says the report did not find that Mr. Trump or his aides colluded with Russia during the 2016 election, but it did not exonerate him of obstruction of justice. Barr made the call and said there was insufficient evidence. President Trump spent much of the week declaring victory.
Total exoneration. Complete vindication.
The president is also renewing his threat to close all or part of the southern border with Mexico. And this time, he has provided a timeline.
So there's a very good likelihood that I'll be closing the border next week, and that'll be just fine with me.
As his administration warns of a crisis at the border, President Trump says 2 new migrant caravans are making their way up from Guatemala.
Massive caravans walking right through Mexico. So Mexico's tough. They can stop them, but they chose not to.
He again blamed Democrats for border security issues.
Congress has to fix our broken immigration laws. We're the laughing stock all over the world.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen wants to allow Central Americans to apply for U.S. asylum while still in their home countries. She urged Congress to act immediately. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, Palm Beach, Florida.
Attorney General Barr says he intends to testify before lawmakers on May 1st and 2nd. And hey, Kentucky fans, we have some good news for you. Kentucky Wildcats wrapping up their 3rd round play. UK playing Houston in the Sweet 16 from Kansas City. And check out that score, 58-62. That's Kentucky on top. We will have much more coming up in Sports Overtime.
Been a little bit of a cloudy and wet evening across the mountains, and we're continuing to track a few showers on Pinpoint Doppler, stretching right along the Highway 23 corridor and extending over towards 119. You can see the bulk of the rain now east of Pikeville and Dorton, heading into eastern Pike County. Also getting ready to cross the Big Sandy over into West Virginia, and a few more showers also building back off to the west, down around the Cumberland Valley. Those will continue to push off to the east and should dissipate as we go through the remainder of the night. Temperatures right now 50s, 56 Hazard, 53 Harlan, 55 into Williamsburg. Overall, a mild evening in store for eastern Kentucky as those thermometers will dip down to lows into the lower 50s. Some of the sheltered valleys may go upper 40s, ridgetops just a skosh warmer. Back to the 60s by lunchtime tomorrow, and even warmer conditions heading our way as we head into the afternoon. That's because we have a stationary front right off to our north. That's been what's sparking off the showers this evening. Area of low pressure developing back off to the west across the plains. That will bring us thunderstorms tomorrow as a cold front moves in with that area of low pressure. But for most of your Saturday, nice and dry. Those showers and thunderstorms become widespread tomorrow evening. Some of those could be on the stronger side. We're talking after 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow. We'll keep a close eye on those. Could see some heavy rain and some gusty winds. On the back side of this system, much cooler temperatures. Highs in the 40s on Sunday, 20s for Monday morning. So all you green thumbs out there, be on the lookout. A little bit of frost possible on Monday morning. As far as how much rain we can see from this system, generally a ½ inch to an inch. A few pockets of higher amounts possible and some embedded thunderstorms. But once we get past a soggy weekend forecast, things looking not too bad for the work week, as we'll see sunshine with a slight chance of rain on Tuesday. Warmer conditions for Wednesday and Thursday, and then another chance of rain just in time for next weekend. Justin.
Thank you very much, Shane, and thank you for staying up late with us for Mountain News tonight. Don't go anywhere, though. Those Kentucky highlights that we told you about, they're coming right up after the break.